Good evening, folks. Welcome to the live stream. Pleasure to be back with you, and we're back to our standard format tonight of magazine format with lots of different bits and pieces as part of it. So our theme for this evening is available light. We've got Q&A and how to focus attention. So how do these shows work? If you're new to logging in and watching, you might want to know, well, first of all, I'd love you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because it is important to me to have those subscriptions and the regular viewers. That will help me promote the channel a little bit better on there. So please subscribe, take a moment to do that now. Then the other thing you need to be aware of is that these will remain on the YouTube channel for a little while, and then they'll get moved into my academy. I can see people are logging in now. Good evening, Ron. I'll be dealing with your question that you asked last week tonight. Terry, nice to see you on here as well. Yeah. The highlights will stay on YouTube, and some extracts will come on onto YouTube as well. So yeah, be a member of YouTube, join my academy as well. Have to keep plugging that. Yeah, I've got a new co-host for tonight because Rick's not with me. He's self-isolating at the moment, so I've installed a new co-host. Here he is. It's Virtual Rick. Say hello, Virtual Rick.
Hello, I am Virtual Rick, and it is good to be a guest on Ian's live stream. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat window, and we will try to answer them later. Thank you.
Yeah, as Virtual Rick said, if you've got any questions, please put them in the chat box. Ask them on there. Oh, great! I can see some more names in there. Hi, Peter, Tony, Andrew. Nice to see you joining us on this. So, ask your questions in chat. Now, one thing that you need to be aware of, and this caught me out last week, is there is a delay between. Well, basically, what you are actually watching is about 30 seconds normally behind me speaking. Last week, for some reason, that delay was about 2 minutes, which meant when I was asking for questions, oh dear, I've just seen a comment there. Terry saying that Virtual Rick is better, sounds better than the real Rick. Ouch. Take that back, Terry. Right. Yeah, there was about 2 minutes delay, which meant that last week, when I was asking for questions, I wasn't seeing them on the feed here in chat. And so I closed it down. And as I closed it down, everything popped up after that because of the delay. So get your questions in quickly on there. I'm going to do the final Q&A right at the end. So you've got plenty of time to put them in there. Yeah, if you're watching this on the replay, that's where the comments will be. And oh dear, Virtual Rick's in the way, just like the real one. Let me just move him out of the way like that. Yeah, get your comments in the replay if you're watching. Put your questions in the comments if you're watching the replay. So what have we got this week? Well, we've got the usual news section, which is going to be quite short. We've got back the 3-minute Lightroom challenge. So I'm going to do an edit, and Rick's going to do an edit. The real Rick, that is, not Virtual Rick. And we'll compare the two on there and give some feedback on that. So keep watching. It might be your image that comes up this week for those of you who submitted on there. I'll be doing the Q&A in 2 parts. I'll deal with the ones from last week first, the pre-submitted ones, and those are going to be about the advantages of RAW and colour spaces. Then I'll share with you my version of the 3 minute. Actually, I can't remember which way around we're doing it. It might be Rick's first and then mine. We'll show you those. I'm going to do a short section on available light photography because that fits in with a giveaway that we've got coming up on there. And we'll be concentrating on diffusers and diffused light this week with available photography. Then we'll give a little bit of feedback both from myself and from Rick about the image that was submitted. Again, it's all pre-recorded. Well, Rick's bit's pre-recorded on that. And I'm going to play in another bit of my beginner's course for a few of you have been asking for that. So this time it's going to be the first part of how you focus attention, part of the critiquing. So we've got that coming up, then any live Q&A that I can deal with straight away, and then we'll wrap up with the session. So could be quite a long one tonight. I'll try and keep things focused on that. Right, so news. Last week I talked about some technology issues that I'd had. I couldn't get the video camera to talk to the laptop. It just kept dropping out. Done a fair bit of research on it this week, a lot of trial and error. Started working midweek, then today it failed again. And what we've discovered, a little bit of remote support from Rick on this. I've hijacked a cable from his studio, and it appears to be the standard of cable on it. The big cable I've been using just doesn't seem to hack it. So using the one from Rick's studio, we're up and running, everything's working fine. I've got my own on order. That should be coming in a week's time, so it should be totally self-sufficient, and we should have dealt with that one. Right, yeah, that was the technology problem. We've got a giveaway. This has been ongoing for a little while. I've got, thanks to Pixapro, 2 5-in-1 reflector diffusers to give away. One of which I am actually going to finally give away tonight, and the other one will be in a couple of weeks' time. So if you want to win or gain one of these, what you have to do is put a comment in either last week's live stream or the weeks before. So if you go and find those on YouTube now and put a comment in there, it doesn't matter what it is, I'll check all those comments at the end of the show today, and I'll use a random number generator to pick the winner on that. And then in a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to do the same thing again, and the draw for that one will be based on the comments in this one. That's the comments, not the live chat, folks. And you can't, unfortunately, comment until the show's over. So next couple of weeks, the comments on the next 2 shows, then I'll do the draw for the final one on that. Right, so here we go. Let's get into the show proper. The 3-minute challenge. The challenge is this. We're given an image to work on. We don't get to look at it in advance, and we have 3 minutes to edit it in Lightroom. And believe you me, those 3 minutes go very, very quickly. So this time, oh yeah, if you want to submit, I've still got some in hand. There's 2 or 3 that I haven't yet done on the shows, but when those are finished, I will be wanting more. So if you haven't submitted one and want to have a go, and you like what we do with it, then please let me know, and I can give you the instructions of how you need to supply the image on there. So, oh no, that's not right. So right, yeah, it must be my 3-minute challenge to start us off with. So let's play that in, and I will be back in 3 minutes after you've had a look at my challenge. Hello, welcome to another 3-minute Lightroom edit challenge. In this challenge, I've got an image from Andy Callan, who's provided the shot you can see over my shoulder, which is obviously a stage one. So let me start the clock going. I now have 3 minutes. Let's go over to the develop module and see what we can do. Right, in the basic module to start with, let's think. It's a stage production, so I'm going to set the white balance to tungsten on there, which is generally what stage lights would be. It looks a little bit on the blue side, so I'm just going to warm that up a little bit. We've got blown out on the light, so let's take that down. Put some lens corrections in, and I'm just going to go full screen so you can see a little bit better. We'll put the standard in there. Right, I think we probably need a little bit of clarity in this, give it a bit of bite on there. The blacks are looking a little bit muddy on it, so I'm just going to bring that down a fraction. Don't want to go too far with that. I'm also going to just bring the exposure up a little bit, not too much. Perhaps contrast will make it. That's starting to look a little bit more stagey for my liking. The colours on it, what happens if I do the vibrance? I still don't like it looking that blue. I think just bringing it up a little bit is better for it. Shadows, maybe a little bit on the shadows. Right, looking at the crop on it, I'm not that keen on the pot down there. I'm over halfway through on this, so let's get rid of the beer, bring that in, take the padlock off, bring that down a section. Can't lose that all the way, but if I go to there, I think that works. Want to keep the drummer in and the bass guitar, I'm not quite sure, the guitarist in the shot, so we'll go with that as the crop. Can I get rid of that in time? I've got 50 seconds. I'm not sure I can, so I'm going to leave that as it is. That haze, it's looking a bit hazy. Bring that in, exposure up just a fraction on there, and I think a bit more, it's got a little bit of green tint to it now. I'm going to go a bit more on the magenta, just a fraction, and I would say possibly just, have I got time just to put a little bit of a vignette in there, darken it down on there, and to feather that. 16 seconds left on the clock, and I think bring the shadows up just a fraction more, and I will go with that as my edit on there. And the clock has just run out. I can stop the thing. Yes, so that's my edit on this particular image. Thanks for submitting it, Andy. Really like it, and I will discuss this back in the studio and talk about it during the live feed. See you then. Okay, and we're back live in the studio. Yeah, I recorded that earlier, not because I wanted to cheat with the edit, it just made it a little bit easier to actually feed it in, because they are really hard to do, those, and the concentration that's required makes it very tricky to do it just by myself here in the studio with monitoring as well as doing that edit. So right, let's move on to our Q&A for this evening, or the first part of it at least. And I've got the two questions which are left over from last week. If you've got any more, please add them to the chat. I'll have a look through that at the end and pick up the ones from there with this. So let's have a look at that. Yeah, do remember there's a delay, so if you want a question, get it in early in the chat, and that gives me time to make sure I've seen it before the end of the show. Right, so the first question came in from Ron. Hi Ron, I saw you earlier in the chat. So this was the question Ron asked last week. He said, I'm new to serious photography. What are the advantages of RAW? So that's the end of this version of the video. If you want to see the full thing, you need to subscribe to my academy, and you can find out how to do that by following the link down below. It only costs £6 a month or £60 a year, and there you'll find the whole archive of all my live streams, lots of other videos and lots of other resources to help you on your way with your photography. And thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down here so you'll get notified of future videos. Up here is a playlist of videos similar to this one, and here's one specific video that I think you will like, whereas down here is one that YouTube thinks you'll like. Until next time, keep making great photos. Bye for now.